Artist oil colors from Winsor & Newton have the highest pigment levels consistent with good handling. Now what I mean by that is you can add so much pigment to a tube of paint that it becomes unworkable, it becomes stiff and gritty. That's why we have individual formulations for each color. Can't simply add the same ratio of pigment to oil and expect it to work out right because the pigments react differently with the oils. And we allow the true pigment characteristics to come through in these paints. That means variable opacity and variable sheen. You let the pigment do what it naturally does. Gives you lots of nice, unique characteristics. And we try to have as many single pigments as possible because as you're mixing colors, when you have a lot of single pigments, you have less going into the mix. You get cleaner, brighter mixtures. And we've got some really unique colors in the line, particularly the transparent earths. I have a transparent brown oxide out right here, transparent maroon as well right here, transparent red ochre, and I'll put out a little bit of transparent gold ochre. As you notice, I'm saying these are transparent colors. When you see them in their mass tone, in their thickness right out of the tube, you don't notice that, but as you drag it out, they become very, very transparent. And I like these a lot. I'm an oil painter myself, and I do a lot. This one's gorgeous. That's that transparent maroon. You really see that come out right there. I paint a lot of landscapes, and I imagine these are just, to me, landscape colors for Italy. The transparent red ochre, that's a Florentine rooftop, so that's just a lovely color. It makes me actually want to go there. And then you can see all those just wonderful, wonderful colors. Really nice, I think, too, for skin tones, for doing underpaintings. All nice subtle things that happen right there. And I'm using the Artist oil brush as well. Artist oil brush is a hog hair brush, Chungking bristles from China. And the reason why these are so important, they're really, really stiff and they're resilient. And you need a stiff brush when you're working with oil because there's a short consistency to these oil colors. That means that they hold brush strokes. If I don't pull the paint out like I did there on a drawdown and I do this, they really hold brush strokes quite nice. That's what we refer to as a short consistency. And the brush itself is really, really great because it has flagged ends. If we were talking about your hair, it would be like split ends at the end of this if you looked at it under a microscope. And that holds a lot of paint, those flagged ends. So you can move this thick paint around and really get some beautiful things to happen with your oil colors.